Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to answer one of the Java interview questions. That is, can we specify private access modifier before a class in Java? The answer is no. Before a class in Java, if you try to specify the private access modifier, then you are going to get a compiler error saying illegal modifier and private access modifier is not allowed to be specified before a class. Okay. So let me first practically demonstrate to you what will happen when you specify private access modifier before a class in Java. You're going to get a compiler error saying illegal modifier that I'll show you. After that, I'll explain you the reason why Java will not allow you to specify the private access modifier before a class in Java. Okay. First, I'll go to this Eclipse ID and create a new class. I'll just name this class as sample class. Okay, so the code has been auto-generated by this Eclipse ID editor when I'm creating this Java class. Sample is the name of the class and class is the keyword which is actually creating this class. And here, by default, we have this public access modifier. And if I replace this public access modifier with private, I'm going to get a compiler error, guys. Okay, so when public is there, you see no error. But when I make it or replace this public with private, immediately I'm going to get an error here, compiler error saying illegal modifier. Okay, compiler error saying illegal modifier. You cannot, you know, you cannot specify private access modifier before a class in Java. And if you do so, you're going to get a compiler error saying illegal modifier. So what is the reason why class cannot be of private type? Okay. So the reason I'm going to explain, guys, if Java allows you to, okay, so Java doesn't allow us to specify the private access modifier before a class, right? Why Java is not allowing and is giving a compiler error if someone specifies private access modifier before a class? The reason behind that is if you make the class itself as private, no one can access anything from that class. The class will become isolated. If Java does so, the class becomes isolated from remaining programs in the project and there is no use of creating the class itself. Okay. The class itself is private. Who is going to use the class? So hence, we can specify a private access modifier before a variable and methods inside the class. But for the class itself, if you make it private, then what is the use of the class? There is no use of the class. No one can access the class outside, right? If the class cannot be accessed outside, then what is the use of creating the class? The class will become completely isolated if Java allows so. Hence, Java doesn't allow us to specify private access modifier. Rather, Java allows us to specify the private access modifier for the variables and methods inside the class, but class cannot itself be private. Okay? If it makes it private, if it allows us to write the private access modifier, then there is no use of creating that such kind of classes in Java. So hope you got the idea and the reason why Java doesn't allow us to specify the private access modifier before a class. Okay. And what will happen if you do so? If you do so, you're going to get a compiler error saying illegal modifier. So with practical demonstration and with the reasoning behind why Java doesn't allow us to specify private access modifier before a class, I feel that I have answered this question for you. So that's all for this session. Thank you. Bye bye.